These interviewers were a little too hot to handle, causing these celebrities to get a little too flirty with them on live TV. Austin Butler and Drew Barrymore. Austin Butler has been known to have a gaze that sucks people in, especially those interviewing him. When he went on to Drew Barrymore's talk show, he couldn't seem to take his eyes and gaze off of her during the whole segment. Drew was explaining to Austin that she had a date coming up and how she hasn't been on a date in like a really long time. Austin proceeded to offer her some dating advice while telling her that he actually has a good feeling about it for her, but also offering to be her like free get out of this situation phone call should she need it. He said he couldn't wait to get updates on her date and repeatedly said she could call or text him. Fans immediately picked up on this flirtatious vibe with her, and one person actually online said, "Find you a man who looks at you the way Austin Butler looks at Drew," with another person saying, "Not Austin Butler having a crush on Drew Barrymore." Madonna and Arsenio Hall. The Madonna interview on the Arsenio Hall show back in 1990 is often cited as one of the most memorable and provocative moments in television history. Madonna appeared on the show on May 1st, 1990 to promote her upcoming Blonde Ambition World Tour. The interview started off very lighthearted, with Madonna and Arsenio joking about her music and dance moves. However, things took a very flirtatious turn when Madonna began to tease Arsenio about his dancing skills. She leaned in close, touched his leg, and made suggestive comments, leaving Arsenio visibly uncomfortable. The interview sparked controversy due to Madonna's provocative behavior and suggestive comments. Some critics accused her of being too flirtatious and crossing the line of professionalism. Madonna later defended her actions, stating that she was simply trying to push boundaries and challenge societal norms. Lady Gaga and Ellen DeGeneres. Lady Gaga's interview on the Ellen DeGeneres show back in 2011 was one no one will forget. Gaga appeared on the show to promote her album and perform her hit single Judas. Now, during the interview, Gaga and Ellen DeGeneres shared a very playful and flirtatious moment. Ellen teased Gaga about her outrageous fashion sense, and Gaga responded by jokingly flirting with Ellen. The two shared a fake kiss, and Gaga even pretended to lick Ellen's face. Yes, so the audience erupted in cheers and applause, and the moment became a highlight of the show. Dakota Johnson and Leslie Mann. Now, while promoting their romantic comedy How to Be Single in 2016, Dakota Johnson and Leslie Mann kept each other company during the press junket. Now, according to Harper's Bazaar, the actresses couldn't help but flirt with Miami WSVN reporter Chris Van Vliet, whom they referred to as the hot guy. Along with giggling flirtatiously, Johnson and Mann told him to take off his shirts and leave the last one unbuttoned. It began, innocently enough, with Mann complimenting the journalist's, cute socks. She started off by saying, "Are you single? You're handsome." The 3-minute interview quickly spiraled out of control, with Johnson asking, Vliet if he worked out because he looked, swolled up. The co-stars then coaxed him into unbuttoning his shirt, telling him they wouldn't speak unless he did as they asked. Dakota would later go on to apologize for her inappropriate behavior, feeling like it was all just a little too much. Andrew Garfield and Stephen Colbert. Andrew Garfield was a guest on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert back in 2017. Now, after a discussion about Garfield's kiss with Ryan Reynolds at the Golden Globes, Colbert asked Garfield if he was comfortable kissing another man, to which Garfield replied affirmatively. Now, Garfield explained that, he wanted to show Ryan Reynolds that he loved him, regardless of whether he won or lost. Garfield and Stephen ended up sharing their own kiss, and Colbert actually joked about the kiss and even said that Garfield was a very gentle lover. The two ended up kissing twice. Of course, the audience, hooed and hawed, and it made headlines immediately, with many people, questioning the whole thing. Chelsea Handler and Michael Strahan. Now, Chelsea Handler appeared twice on Live with Kelly and Michael within 3 months, and things got heated between her and the host. Handler commented on Strahan's cellulite, and he replied saying that blacks just don't crack. Now, the second time she returned, the actress confessed that people thought they had chemistry during her previous appearance and that she liked black guys. Now, at the same time, Strahan stated that everybody likes chocolate, as reported apparently by Nicki Swift. Now, she jokingly said that he was throwing his body at her and that she greatly appreciated it. Now, Kelly asked if they ever thought about actually going on a date, and the two, joked, basically saying they do have quite a bit of chemistry, so maybe a possible pairing in the future we could see. Nicole Kidman and Jimmy Fallon could have been a couple. One of the most memorable moments in recent late night years was when Jimmy Fallon had Nicole Kidman on his show, and everything would change when she was interviewed. During the interview, Kidman admitted that she had a crush on Fallon when they met back in the 90s, which made for very awkward moments as the actress brought up old feelings. Nicole Kidman revealed a past date with Fallon, which he was actually unaware of, causing him to blush and cringe as she, recounted the awkward encounter. Kidman explained that a mutual friend, Rick, set up a meeting for her and Fallon, which she thought was a date, but Fallon thought it was about a possible movie role. Fallon recounts that he was actually playing video games and eating leftover Chinese food while Kidman was there, and he was completely oblivious to any romantic undertones. The incident became a running joke between the two, and they have remained, friends despite the near-miss romance. Now, many fans went on to say that Jimmy completely missed his chance and blew the opportunity to date the Nicole Kidman. Andrew Garfield and Amelia Dimoldenberg, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, on an episode of Chicken Shop Date, which is her popular long-running YouTube interview show that takes place date style, over a meal at a local chicken shop in London. The pair's chat comes 2 years after their very first meet cute sent the internet into a frenzy. They teetered between leaning into the gimmick of the interview and their seemingly real chemistry with a lot of giggling sprinkled in. Now, Amelia told Garfield in the clip, "I think that there's something going on, to the point where you've been avoiding me for 2 years because the vibes are too much for you to handle," acknowledging that they've had a couple of lovely interactions. Now, Garfield went on to say he genuinely thinks that they could have really gone on an actual date if it weren't for them being on her show. He said, "Take out all the practicalities and the logic, I actually believe that maybe we could have gone on a real date off camera." Now, the obvious current of electricity between the two has had the internet hungry for more after footage of several flirtatious encounters between the two went absolutely viral online. Kate Mara and Craig Ferguson, the former host of the Late Late Show, Craig Ferguson, was the flirting god on late night during his 9-season run. One of his, steamiest interviews occurred when Kate Mara came for her second appearance on the show and couldn't help but discuss lip gloss, making out, and the snake cut by his desk. Mara called him a dirty man when Ferguson flirted back with a sensual double entendre. Now, the first time Ferguson interviewed Mara, she seemed giggly at points, but it was mostly a pretty normal talk show appearance. However, at points during their first interview, Mara grabbed the host's hand and she spoke about how cuddly Scotsmen like Ferguson are. When Mara returned for her second appearance, her chemistry with Ferguson was on full display. Within a minute of Mara's second interview, she basically stated that she was jealous of Ferguson talking about kissing his previous guest, Morgan Freeman. Now, near the end of the interview, the flirting goes to like another level, or at least it seems to, because after the two of them are talking about horses, Mara makes a remark that even seems to take her by surprise. She says, "I'm really good at riding on the back of men's horses." She went on to say she didn't mean for it to come out that way, but audience members were not so convinced, and neither was his wife at the time. Messy. Mariah Carey and Howard Stern. Mariah's interview with Howard Stern in 1998 was quite possibly the most memorable one. While promoting her album, Carey was subjected to objectification and uncomfortable questioning by Stern. He made several lewd comments, leaving Carey visibly uneasy. The interview took a wrong turn when Stern began asking Carey about her personal life and relationships. Carey, however, didn't back down and instead called out Stern for his behavior. She later slammed Stern and his co-host, Robin Quivers, for their inappropriate interview style. The tension between Carey and Stern continued even after the interview. Carey reportedly continued to speak out against Stern's behavior, and the two had a somewhat contentious kind of relationship. Now, the two would eventually meet again in 2012 when Carey's then husband, Nick Cannon, was the host of America's Got Talent. With Stern as a judge, Cannon, developed a working relationship with the radio legend, and Cannon later revealed this connection helped actually bring Stern and Carey together after very long years of bad drama. And to throw in an honorable mention, I have Jack Harlow and Saweetie. The incident in question came as Harlow ambushed Saweetie during a red carpet interview before the ceremony. He surprised her by sneaking up on her and saying, "Hi, sweetie." He then introduced himself as Jack, to which she said, "I know." He then very flirtatiously said to her, "You don't like getting caught off guard?" To which she replied, "Why are you shaking?" The moment went viral, with many saying good for Jack for like shooting his shot, although he missed. But later they would report that they are now friends. But let's see what the future holds. You never know. Which celebrity took it too far, or were these all just harmless, and in good fun? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Ashley. It's been great catching up.